little game of either or for you all. Which Montreal Canadiens young center do you believe has the most upside? Is it Jesperi Kotkaniemi or is it Nick Suzuki?
I enjoy both these young players. I mean, I look at Suzuki being a real smart, intelligent, creative player that is able to, makes big plays in tight places. And he's got a lot of upside on the offensive side to be able to bring some really good, smart plays, to the game. Kotkaniemi on the other side, again, he's making great strides with his ability to know that you got to play hard each and every night, and you also have to understand how to play away from the puck. And both these young kids have tremendous upside, and I like to see the path that they're on and seeing how they're developing in a real positive way today.
Earlier in the season, I would have said Nick Suzuki, but now I'll say Jesperi Kotkaniemi. I think Suzuki is able to be taken off his game by the other team playing physical against him. They've been whacking him and hacking him and everything else, and it's had an impact. It's his offensive output has gone down. Whereas Kotkaniemi just keeps getting bigger physically, stronger physically. Watching Eric Staal, and I'm not going to compare 20-year-old Jesperi Kotkaniemi to Eric Staal, possible, with everything he's won, but there's similarities there with the build, with the size, with the way they skate, with the way they move. I think moving forward, just because of his size and the strength, I think Kotkaniemi, by the time he fully develops, is going to be about 205 pounds probably. He's going to be probably even a little bit bigger than Eric Staal. So I think just in today's NHL, that size and that physical presence will put Kotkaniemi ahead of Suzuki. But going forward, I think if those are your number 1, 2 centers, the way they're developing, I think the Canadiens are in a pretty good spot right now at the center position moving forward. And it's been many, 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 many years since we've been able to say that.
It's kind of like asking, would you prefer a steak or lobster? It's a tough decision. They're both good. And what makes this question difficult is because it always seems when Nick Suzuki's playing well, Jesperi Kotkaniemi's not playing well, and vice versa, what we're kind of seeing right now. So it's a little bit easier now to just lean towards Jesperi Kotkaniemi because he's been playing better. As you mentioned, he's got the size, whereas with Nick Suzuki, he's a little bit of a smaller player there. But you know what? It's I find still a little bit too early on in their career to really make a decision on this. But if I had to choose, I would choose Jesperi Kotkaniemi just based on his size.
To Jess's point, I just want to add here about steak and lobster. When you consider some of the guys who have been compared to Suzuki and Kotkaniemi, we've heard the Patrice Bergeron comparisons to Nick Suzuki. I don't know if those are still going to be true now, but that's still someone he could strive towards. And one guy I've always thought of with Jesperi Kotkaniemi was Alexander Barkov in Finland, and that was a guy who took some time to develop before he turned himself into an established center in this league. So if you prefer one or the other, I mean, I guess that's your preference, but if the Montreal Canadiens find themselves with 2 young centers who play to the potential of those 2 guys, that's some really insane center depth. I'm with Jess here. I understand why it's a bit too soon to kind of say, oh man, which one has the more upside, considering the upsides that both these 2 players could strive for could end up being great anyway. So it's a bit of a tough sell to be like, okay, this one is clearly better than the other. It's a bit of a tough situation to pick.
And people have to understand these are tough positions to learn. And these are young kids that are, the expectations are very high, and everybody wants these guys to be great players yesterday, but it just doesn't happen. So there is a process of learning and understanding how to play that position. And the good news for both those guys, they have natural talent and instinct that they're going to develop with time, and they're going to be good, solid players for the organization.
They're also going to learn an awful lot the rest of this season with Eric Staal there. Watching him play, talking to him in the locker room, talking to him on the bench. They're going to learn an awful lot from Eric Staal about how to play center in the NHL.
Let us know in the comments section whether you think Jesperi Kotkaniemi has more upside or Nick Suzuki has more upside. And I guess if you want to let us know if you prefer steak or lobster, that's okay too. Visit hockeyinsideout.com to check out our full episode.